This is Steve Ridgel, and one of the things we talk to non-believers about a lot is saying yes to Jesus. That it's really important to say, yes, I believe Jesus is God's son. Yes, I believe you died for my sins. Yes, I believe you were raised from the dead. Yes, I want you to be the Lord of my life. Yes, I want to live like you live. Yes, I want to treat people like you treated people. All of those things we think are vitally important, and we stress that. Say yes to Jesus. And I kind of grew up in a time where I didn't. Maybe it was just me that didn't hear it. I want to be gracious here, but what I mostly learned growing up was all the things, if you follow Jesus, you say no to. And I do think that's important. You do have to say no, starting with mostly say no to yourself. But I got a whole lot of what you say no to. That's how you decide how to live as a Christian. Don't do, don't be, don't. And when that's your motivation, that's hard to sustain. I wish I'd figured out a lot earlier in my life that saying yes to Jesus meant understanding things like your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit, understanding things like deny yourself, take your cross daily, follow me. And even when I would hear those things, I tended to hear them preached as, okay, follow me, which means here's all the things you can't follow. Take up your cross daily, which means here's all the things you can't be doing. And deny yourself. So here's all the things that means you can't. And so many of those things I heard negatively, not positively. And so it's easy. In fact, a lot of people in my generation kind of grew up saying, we need to do more about say yes to Jesus. Quit being so negative in our preaching and teaching. Say yes to Jesus. And I think that's really where it all starts. We've got to do that. When people come in and they don't know about Jesus, I want them to see the real Jesus, and I want them to say yes to that Jesus. But having said that, I've been in conversation lately about, well, sometimes we have to talk about saying no. It's like everybody. You grow up under one thing, and so you go all the way to the other end. And so I think there are kids growing up now who someday are going to say, I grew up a lot with hearing the say yes to Jesus, but I didn't really hear a lot about how that played out in ways where sometimes you have to say, oh, no, I can't live this way. No, I won't live this way. No, I'm not going to. And then they'll go all the way the other way and teach a lot about say no to, and we can hardly ever kind of stop in the middle sometimes. But I do think it's important sometimes to say yes to Jesus. And as you talk about what that means, at some point you have to also talk about, and saying yes to Jesus means saying no to a lot of other things. We really all kind of want to have our cake and eat it too. We kind of want to have our Jesus and live the way we want to. It just doesn't work that way. Lots of us have tried that. And it's hard. It is hard to say no to yourself. Hard to say no to your desires, your fleshly desires, your greed, your lust, your pride. Those are hard things to say no to. But if you're going to follow Jesus, say yes to Jesus, then sometimes that does mean, hey, I'm going to say no to this, and no to this, and no to this. And I don't say any of this flippantly. It is hard to say yes to Jesus. And to really commit to live the Jesus life is hard. And to say no to things you want and desire because they're not what Jesus wants and desires, that's hard. And those are hard conversations to have. But I love churches that aren't afraid to have those conversations. I love Christians who in their home, in their Bible classes, in their small groups, in their assemblies, talk about the hard things. And it all is based on saying yes to Jesus. But that does lead me sometimes to say no to things. So this is Steve Ridgel reminding myself, say yes to Jesus.